Good morning, children. Today we will have a new lesson. The title of the lesson is Albert Einstein at School. Dear children, you all had a lesson on Albert Einstein when you were in class 9th. There we came to know how boy Albert Einstein couldn't speak a word until he was 2.5 years old. How he had his school education, his bachelor life, married life, and at the end how he died. Okay, now here in class 11th you have his studies in colleges, and where he had to leave the school. Okay, and how he was expelled from the school. Okay, that is what we are going to have now. So about the author is Patrick Prinkle, and he was born in 1935 in Rochester in New York. He was a freelance writer and photographer, wildlife biologist and educator. He was the executive editor of Nature and Science during 1965 and 1967, and he has got many awards. Okay, now let us see the text now. Yeah, Albert Einstein at school, Patrick Prinkle. Albert Einstein, 1879-1955, is regarded as the greatest physicist since Newton. In the following extract from the young Einstein, the well-known biographer Patrick Prinkle describes the circumstances which led to Albert Einstein's expulsion, means sending out from a German school. Okay. Now we'll go to the text in detail, because any question can be asked from the text. In what year? Okay, before that I would like to tell a few ideas about this lesson. Actually, Albert Einstein's school life is connected with his history teacher here, and actually Albert Einstein was not that interested in history, and he had tough time with his history teacher. At the same time, he was good at maths. Okay, and somehow he wanted to complete his school education, and finally he was so stifled in the school, and he wanted to escape from the school. For that, he wanted a medical certificate, and with the help of his friends he manages to get a one, and with that, he equipped with the medical certificate, he goes to his principal, actually, who called Einstein to meet him at his chamber. But finally he came to know that the principal wanted to expel him from the school. That is what the brief summary of the lesson. Now let us go in detail. In what year, Einstein asked the history teacher, did the Prussian defeat the French at Waterloo? I don't know, sir. Why don't you know? You have been told it often enough. I must have forgotten, the boy said, because he took history very lightly. Did you ever try to learn? Asked Mr. Brown, the history teacher. No, sir, Albert replied with his usual unthinking honesty. Why not? The teacher asked. I can't see any point in learning dates, and one can always look them up in a book. Dear children, this is what's the reply from Albert Einstein when the history teacher asked why he was not interested in learning the dates. He said he did not find any point in learning dates. Okay, why? Because it is available in the book. Mr. Brown was speechless for a moment. The history teacher was speechless, means he did not utter a word. He was so surprised. You amaze me, Einstein, he said at last. Don't you realize that one can always look most things up in the books? That applies to all the facts you learn at school. Okay, whatever you learn, that also it is available in the book. Yes, sir. Then I suppose you don't see any point in learning facts. Frankly, sir, I don't, said Albert. Really, he answered. Albert answered that he did not like it. Then you don't believe in education at all? The teacher asked. Oh, yes, sir, I do. I don't think learning fact is education. See, this is what his logic. Learning fact is not education according to Albert Einstein. In that case, said the history teacher with heavy sarcasm. What is sarcasm? Insult. Perhaps you will be so kind as to tell the class the Einstein theory of education. The teacher wanted to insult the boy, telling that, okay, then you can start educating the children about his theory of education. Albert flushed. Albert became angry. I think it is not facts that matter, but ideas, he said. So, what is he interested in? Not facts, but ideas. He said, I don't see the point in learning the dates or battles or even which of the armies killed more men. I would be more interested in learning why those soldiers were trying to kill each other. This reason he wanted to know. Why people are fighting each other. Why soldiers wanted to die and kill each other. That's enough, Mr. Brown's eyes were cold and cruel now. We don't want a lecture from you, Einstein. You will stay in for an extra period today. Although I don't imagine it will do you much good. It won't do the school any good either. Either it is not going to help the school. You are a disgrace. You are a disgrace, insult to the school. I don't know why you continue to come. So this is what is the final dialogue from his teacher. Why he wanted to continue in that school. When he is not ready to learn history, when he is not ready to recall the year and facts, what is the use of Albert Einstein to continue his study there? Okay. It is not my wish, sir. Then he immediately, very honestly, he said it is not his wish, Albert pointed out, and that means it is the wish of his father. Then you are an ungrateful boy and ought to be ashamed of yourself. I suggest you ask your parents to take you away. So finally the history teacher asked him to bring his father so that the father can take him home. Albert felt miserable. Miserable means unhappy. Unhappy when he left school that afternoon. Not that it had been a bad day. Most days were bad now anyway, but because he had to go back to the hateful place the next morning. One more reference is there. The hateful, he considered school as a hateful place. The next morning he only wished his father would take him away, but there was no point in even asking. He knew that the answer would be he would have to stay until he had taken his diploma. So dear children, his father won't allow him to discontinue his education. Why? Because his father wanted him to complete his diploma. So what is the hateful place for the boy Albert Einstein? His school. Going back to his the lodging did not cheer him. So another reason, because after school he has to go to his lodging, and his lodging means the place where he lives. That also cannot bring him happiness. Why? Reason is mentioned here. His father had so little money to spare that Albert had been found a room in one of the poorest quarters of Munich. Okay. Yeah. Munich, he did not mind the bad food and lack of comfort or even the dirt and squalor, because his father is a poor man, could not afford him a decent hostel facility. He had a very poor one, and with the dirt, with the squalor also dirt, and bad food. But these are all not the thing that he disliked, but he hated the atmosphere of the slum violence. That is one. There is violence in the slum, and his landlady beat her children regularly, and every Saturday her husband would come drunk and beat her. So two things that he did not like about his lodging. One is the street violence or the slum violence there, and another thing is the landlady beating her children regularly, and she would be beaten once in a while by her husband on Saturdays. You see how much disturbance is there. How can a boy learn things in such an atmosphere? But at least you have a room of your own, which is more than I can say, said Yuri when he called round in the evening. Okay. Then Yuri said that at least he had a room. Why is he worried about? At least you live among civilized human beings, even if they are all poor students, said Albert. But Albert said, no, 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 no. But Yuri, you are in a uh, group of civilized people. They are not at civilized, Yuri said. Did you not hear that one of them was killed last week in a duel? Okay, now Yuri is saying they are not such civilized people. Near to Yuri is not civilized. There was a duel. Duel means fight between two, and one man was killed, and that happens to one who killed him. Nothing of course, he is even proud of it. His only worry is that the authorities have told him not to fight any more duels. He is upset about this because he hasn't a single scar on his face to wear for the rest of his life as a badge of honor. But okay, his friend Yuri said that he did not belong to a civilized place, and he has given an example of a duel, and one man got killed. Okay, and that man who killed the other was warned by the authority, but he was not happy because he had no scar. Scar means the mark left by, you know what is scar? Scar means a mark left by the wound. Okay, he wanted to have a scar on his chest as a badge of honor. Oh, exclaimed Albert, and these are the students. Well, you will be student one day, said Yuri. Yuri said, okay, you also will become a student. Means a student in a university. Okay, next page. I doubt it, said Albert glumly. Who said it? Glumly means sadly. You can write down the word meaning. Glumly, sadly. I don't think I will ever pass the exams for the school diploma. Actually, the boy is not confident that he would pass the diploma because he is not interested, and his teachers are, especially his history teacher is not in good term with him. He told his cousin Elsa. Okay, and we are getting the third character in the story now, Elsa. Okay, Albert Einstein is there, Yuri his friend, and Elsa his cousin. He told his cousin Elsa the same next time she came to Munich. Okay, female character here, cousin. Don't say cousin brother, don't say cousin sister. But in English we call only cousin. It can be male or female, but you can mention, for example, she. Then you understand that this cousin is a female. Okay, good English say cousin. But in poor way people say cousin brother, cousin sister. It's not good. Normally she lived in Berlin where her father had a business. I am sure you could learn enough to pass the exam, Albert, if you tried, she said. Actually, she advised Albert Einstein to continue with his studies, at least to pass the diploma. I know lots of boys who are much more stupid than you are who get through. Okay, many other low scoring children used to pass the exam. They say you don't have to know anything, you don't have to understand what you are taught, just be able to repeat it in the exam. Just mug it up, just learn it by heart and to do. That is what her advice is. That is the whole trouble, said Albert. I am not good at learning things by heart. Actually, that is a problem with Albert Einstein. He was not interested in learning things by heart. You don't need to be good at that. Anyone can learn, like a parrot. You know, parrot is not for imitating. The bird is not for imitating. Just like a parrot, Albert could do it, according to Elsa. You just don't try, and yet I always see you with a book under your arm, added Elsa. Okay, you have no interest in learning. And what is that book that you are carrying? Who asked? Elsa asked. What is the one you are reading? Then he said, oh, that is a book on geology. Geology? Rocks and things? Means study about rocks and things. Do you learn that? No, we have hardly any science at school. Then why are you studying it? Because I like it. Isn't that a good enough reason? Elsa said. Actually, Albert said, yes, I like science. I like that geology. You are right, of course, Albert, she said, but it won't help with your diploma. But reading that geology won't help him to pass the diploma. Apart from the books on science, his only comfort was music, and he played his violin regularly until his landlady asked him to stop. Okay, in class 9th also you learned that it was his mother's choice that Albert Einstein should learn violin, and at the age of 6 he started learning violin. Okay, but here the reference is that he found comfort in music. That means he played violin regularly. Sometimes his landlady would come and ask him to stop. That wailing gets on my nerves, she said. There is enough noise in this house with all the kids howling. Already she had enough children and they are howling, and she did not want any more sound in the home. Albert was tempted to point out that most of the time it was she who made them howl, but he decided it was better to say nothing. Actually, according to Albert Einstein, that lady is responsible for the children howling. Actually, she used to provoke them to howl. Okay, but he did not feel like telling anything to that lady. I must get away from here, he told Yuri. So actually Albert did not want to continue there. So he said to his friend, okay, Yuri, I must get from here. After 6 months alone in Munich, it is absurd, it is foolish that I should go on like this. In the end, it will turn out I have been wasting my father's money and everyone's time. It will be better for all if I stop now. So Albert Einstein now deciding to quit the place, thinking that he would waste his father's money and his own time. Dear children, we'll stop it here now, and let us make an immediate review of what we have discussed today. So the chapter is all about Albert Einstein in a school where he is not happy with his history teacher, Mr. Brown, and he had argument with Mr. Brown, and Albert Einstein was not in a position to learn facts and dates because he said it could be available in a book. But Mr. Brown asked why should he learn then other subjects. Then he said he was not really interested. It was a compulsion from his father's side, and he wanted to quit his studies. But he knows that his father would not allow him. And so one day he expressed this to his friend Yuri about this matter. He was not happy at his school, and nor was he happy with the lodging where the facilities are poor, and that landlady beating her children, and the slum violence. Altogether, Albert felt so stifled in the place. But his friend Yuri as well as his cousin Elsa both advised him to continue there, and we also discussed we also came to know that Albert Einstein was interested in reading geology. He used to carry a book, and Elsa asked about it, and he said it was his pleasure reading geology. Okay, and one more thing that we came to know that his interest in music, that he used to play violin, and sometimes the landlady would come and scold him for that and would ask him to stop. And according to Albert Einstein, actually the lady was problematic, and she provoked the children to howl. So dear children, today we'll stop here and we'll continue tomorrow with the same spirit, and it is not a very big chapter. Within 2 or 3 sessions we will complete it, and all of you please read it loudly. Reading is a pleasure, and also make it a silent reading, and find important questions, and also write down important words, difficult words. Thank you children, thank you very much. Have a nice day ahead.